We are going to be talking about the NYC Health Map. So I wanted to show you this NYC Health Map, which offers a really wide range of locations that do all sorts of health-based services. But I wanted to focus a little bit today on sexual health services, specifically HIV testing, and also locations that offer free, safer sex products like condoms and lube and internal condoms. And we'll talk a little bit about that. The Action Center has them. Spoiler alert, like we've said before, but I'll show you how you can find other locations on the map as well. So this is a really helpful tool. And you'll see there are other things we could look at too. Just in the interest of time, I wanted to look at those two things. But I wanted to give you a sense of everything that you can look up on this map that'll show you the locations for free and low cost services like checking your blood pressure, dental services, drug and alcohol services, LGBTQ health services, vaccines. This is a pretty well updated city site. So I encourage you to check out all these other categories as well. And we can talk about that in the future too. Today, we're going to focus specifically on the free, safer sex products and sexual health services. So take a second to open the app on your phone or device that you use to access the internet. First step in so many of our processes, it might be Safari, it might be Google Chrome, it might just be something that says internet, but you want to go ahead and open that. It's going to go to my homepage on my browser, which is the homepage for Smart. It'll go to whatever your homepage is. And we're going to click up here in the address bar. And we're going to type in the following. Bookmark that link and you won't have to type this in again. And you'll see all the icons that we're seeing on the other page. So that's where you can start by searching for specific kinds of services. Again, you'll see these icons for all the types of services that are included on the NYC Health Map. So I just wanted to scroll down again and show you these for future reference. And if you scroll back up after you've looked at all of these, you will see in the top right-hand corner, as with many city websites, you have the option to translate the entirety of the site. So up here in the top right corner, you'll see the little language. Click here and then select the language that you want it to translate into. There's lots and lots of options. So I'm just going to do simplified Chinese here. And that will translate the entirety of the website for you. So if you need access in a different language, that's the way to do it. And if you need to change it back, you can just go back in there. I'm going to change mine back to English. And there it is. So you can just go back and forth as you need to. So let's start by looking at sexual health services. So there's a range of different things that are included in this overarching category of sexual health services. But one of the things that I wanted to look at first was HIV testing. Dr. Merrick talked about the importance of HIV and sexually transmitted infection prevention. This is the part of the NYC Health Map that can help you with things like that. So HIV testing, STI testing, PrEP, and other services too. And we'll look at what those are. And again, this is the icon you'll be looking for. You can tell it's the sexual health services when it says sexual health services, but it's also got the PrEP pill and this little icon that looks like a blood test. So we are on the NYC Health Map page. We're going to scroll down and find that icon. There we have it. And click on it. And what you'll see is a blank map at first. You'll need to scroll up, at least on my phone, this is what it did. Scroll up to where it gives you an option of what services you want to look for. So we can see DoxyPep, which is the pill that you take to protect against bacterial STIs, HIV testing, HIV treatment. Most of the places that offer HIV testing, I think by law actually are required to help you get access to HIV treatment. But if you click HIV treatment, those will be specifically places that offer it. Post-exposure prophylaxis, which is if you think you might have been exposed to HIV, you can get a pill that you take for several days to help your immune system not contract HIV. And then PrEP, which is the oral pill that you take to prevent HIV, and also STI testing of all kinds. And all of these within this system are going to be either free or low cost, or taking certain types of insurance. You can sort by that as well, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to scroll down. For our purposes right now, we're going to look for HIV testing sites. And one way to look at this is you can zoom in on the map. So I'm just going to zoom in. I'm doing that little thing like this to get to East Harlem. And I'm looking at the sites in East Harlem. So we have this one. So this is Berecan. And if we click on more details, we can get all the information, the phone number, the hours, what they offer. There's a long list of things that they offer on here. So for each of these sites, there should be additional information, links to their website, phone numbers, and you can see that most of the places that offer one service will also offer others as well. Also, too, I just wanted to note, and this is something you can search by as well, that this particular site has actually said that they are an LGBTQ, a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, knowledgeable provider. That's something that they can opt in and say, that's actually something we specialize in. So if that's important to you, you can look for that as well. That's an option for when these different places list themselves in the NYC Health Map, they can say specifically that they are knowledgeable about LGBTQ people and medical conditions. So that's one way to do it. You can just look at the map based on those services, zoom into your neighborhood and see what's there. But alternately, you can scroll down. We still have it on HIV testing. We're still looking at East Harlem. But we can also look at all of these as a list too, which depending on the way that you best see information, the map might work better for you, the list might work better for you. We're going to try the list way too. So we're going to click up here where it says list. And if we scroll down, you'll see everything's just in alphabetical order. So there are things in Brooklyn, there are things in the Bronx, there are things that might be really far away from us. If we want to look at things in alphabetical order, that's fine. But if we want to narrow this down more, let's say we do want somewhere in our zip code, or we want to be real specific about the qualifications of the provider or something, what we're going to use is this button here that says filters. And it looks like a little filter. So that's going to help us search more specifically in this list. So let's click on that. So location, I'm going to put in our zip code, 10029. And then depending on what the category is that you're looking at, there'll be other things that you can check if you're looking for very specific services. So again, that LGBTQ knowledgeable, this is interesting. There are places that actually offer you free at-home HIV tests. That's something you can check if it's something you're interested in. Teen friendly, if you're looking for a place that works with teenagers, if you have a teenager and want to let them know about this, that's a good thing to check as well. For right now, we're going to check LGBTQ knowledgeable just to narrow it down that much further. And then this is important. This might not be the most intuitive thing, but once you do that, you're just going to hit close. And when you hit close, it's going to apply those categories. So now when I hit close, what the list will say is places in 10029 that offer HIV testing and have identified themselves as LGBTQ knowledgeable. So that just saying close applies that filter. So let's see what we got. This is a kind of strange entry that I think is not fully complete. So we're going to go past that, but we're going to look at health and hospitals, metropolitan. Click on that. We can get all their details. They are LGBTQ knowledgeable. These are their hours, services they provide, gender affirming care, HIV testing, HIV treatment, primary care, sexual health services of other kinds, and STI testing. And you'll see too, link to their website here and a number to call. Let's keep going and see what else we see. Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center. This Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center is primarily going to work with adolescents, but you can call them and see what's available to adults as well. But that's one that's also identified as an LGBTQ knowledgeable provider. So you can just keep going down that list until you find something that looks right for you. For me, one of the things that's really helpful about this map is there are a couple places that I know about, but generally speaking, there are a lot more places that have accessible services than you might imagine or that you might know about, even if you've been in the neighborhood for a long time. So it's good to just know where these places are, either if you need these services right now or if you or a family member might need them in the future. Let's say you did your search, now you want to search something else. I just want to show you how to clear this filter. Let's say we were on that list where we just were. So we're looking at, again, LGBT knowledgeable providers in 10029. We're going to go up here. If we want to take the filter off, we're going to hit reset. And once we have done that, it'll be back to that list of all the providers who offer HIV testing all over the city in alphabetical order. So if you wanted to start a new search, you could do it from there. You could apply a new filter. And then if we want to go back to the map, we're just going to click where it said map there. So you can just toggle back and forth between the map and the list, depending on which one you want to use. And again, with the map, we're just going to zoom back in on East Harlem and we can look at sites that way to just look at each of the little flags where the sites are located. I want to do this search again, but then look for sites that offer PrEP. So that was the pre-exposure prophylaxis. That's the pill that you take to prevent HIV. especially if you're somebody who has identified yourself as being at higher risk of contracting HIV. It's a pill that you can take either daily or in a very particular regimen to prevent HIV transmission. So let's see who offers that. We're going to go to PrEP, or a pill to prevent HIV. Again, we're going to do my first method, which is zoom in on the map. We're going to get Beacon again, because that was something that they did. We're going to look over here, and this is one I wanted to highlight, is the Central Harlem Sexual Health Clinic. SMART used to do outreach out of that clinic a while back, and they offer a lot of sexual health services that were temporarily not available during COVID, but a lot of them are back now, and that is a great resource, a free city resource for a lot of these services. Let's go through this again. Beacon. And again, it's on 5th Avenue between 136th and 137th. We can click here to get more details, and you'll see the range of services they offer. So there are a number of free sexual health services available at that and at all of the city sexual health sites. Again, we're looking at Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center. There's another Mount Sinai location that also offers PrEP as well. So we'll see the Central Harlem Sexual Health Services in just a minute. Again, you can view the available sites in the list. So click on list to see all of them. And then you can apply a filter. Again, you get these options for the filter. We're going to do 10029 again, because that's the zip code we're looking in. And let's say we want to make sure we are getting somewhere that accepts Medicaid. These are other options as well. I'm going to say that people that work with women and are LGBT knowledgeable. So again, we close that to apply the filter, and we'll find sites that fit that criteria near us. So Brightpoint, that one is in the Bronx, but is relatively close, offers a range of sexual health services. Here's the Central Harlem Sexual Health Clinic. So if you click on that, they're an LGBTQ knowledgeable provider, no cost walk-in services. These are their hours and everything that they have, which is a lot. I'll get you that one more time. So all of these are free services that are available through the city at that location. And I wanted to put this tip on here too. This is a relatively, as far as I can tell, a pretty well-maintained site. So things are pretty up to date, but consider calling any of these sites before you go there, just to confirm that the services you're looking at are currently available, that the times are right, especially if it's somewhere a little out of your way. You don't want to make the trip and then find out something's changed. Every now and then they do make changes that haven't been applied to the site yet. So just a tip to give them a call, especially if you're making a trip to go there. If you've been seeing when we scroll down, most of the sites that offer sexual health services like HIV testing, like PrEP, will also carry free safer sex supplies like condoms, internal and external condoms, and lube. But there are lots of additional sites that carry these products that don't have other sexual health services. So if you want to know all the places where you can get free condoms, free safer sex materials near, you can look that up on the NYC Health Map as well. You're going to look for this, the condom wrapper that looks a little bit like a ravioli. So we're going to go back to that main screen. We're going to close out this window that we were just looking at. Just close it here. And then I'm going to scroll up to the very top of this screen where it says other service categories and click on that. Then we're going to scroll down and again, look for that icon. But one of the little quirky things that I found with this, maybe this isn't always the case, but it was for me when I did it both yesterday and today, is that when you click on this particular category, the map doesn't populate until you put a filter on it. So you might not see the map yet. We'll just practice filtering it by zip code. There's only one thing that you can click on here, which is condoms and lube. What we clicked there was the filter button again. And we're going to do our zip code. And then the other things you can select here is condoms, internal condoms, lubricant. If you're particularly looking, most places will have all of those if they have one, but you can filter by that. Going back to that 10029 available products. And then we're going to close, and that should apply the filter. So we're going to look at the map here, zoom it into our neighborhood. You will see some familiar faces. That is the East Harlem Health Action Center. We have condoms there, but they also have them. They very clearly tell you where they are. Free safer sex products inside a basket located in the first floor waiting area. So look for that right in front of where the guard station is. We have them too, but if you're ever just stopping by, you can go in and get some. Again, further information, the hours, and what's available. And again, like I was saying, there aren't other sexual health services at the East Harlem Action Center, but they do have condoms and lubricants. So there's like a lot of places that just have that, and that's good to know because they're trying to make this as accessible as possible. So let's zoom in again, see what else we see. The Harlem Corner Pharmacy, private pharmacies can have these as well as part of the New York City program to make sure that condoms and lubricant are easily accessible. So again, you can scroll down, see their hours, exactly where the safer sex supplies are located. And then you can also view that one too in a list, just the same as we did before. You can click on that list button and you will land on the list. And you can filter that just like we did for the map. Key takeaways. The NYC Health Map is there to help you find free and low-cost health services nearby. Some of those services are HIV testing and PrEP, free safer sex supplies like condoms and lube, but you saw there are a lot of other categories too that we can explore in the future, or that you can explore on your own too. There are multiple ways to search the NYC Health Map. You can do that map feature and then just zoom in, or you can do the list and filter option. Also, you can call 311. They have access to all the information on this map as well. So if you ever are getting frustrated with the site, pick up the phone, call 311. That's another option as well. These are meant to be publicly available services that are either no cost or low cost. You definitely can use these services. We absolutely encourage you to use these services. One thing that I will say that I think is just a helpful thing to know is that the Central Harlem Sexual Health Services Center, it's city run and is free. It's a really good go-to kind of place for some of these services if you're coming up short about where you could go otherwise. Another thing that you can do always is if you have a primary care provider and you're looking for specific services like these, if you are within like an insurance network, you can always ask your primary care provider about that as well. But these are really good. Just know where things are in case you ever need them, in case you have a family member that needs to get an HIV test, that you'll know where these locations are and you'll know the ones that are free, the ones that take Medicaid, the ones that are most accessible to you. Use these services, please, and share them too with family members as well. Younger kids, relatives, spouses, just share the information and make sure that everybody's taking care of their health.